All right, so welcome back, everybody, for another deep dive into the knowledge book. If you've been following along with us, we are working our way through these fascicles, these messages that are supposedly from extraterrestrial beings, and they are claiming to offer some guidance for humanity and for our spiritual evolution.
That's it,
And so far, you know, things have been fairly... I don't know, pretty chill.
Yeah, pretty general.
Yeah, just a lot of
universal wisdom.
A lot of spiritual wisdom.
Yeah, but buckle up, because in Fascicle 3, which kind of drops us in the middle of the 80s, 1984, things start to get a little more intense.
It's a real shift in tone.
Yeah.
There's a real sense of urgency all of a sudden. It's almost like a countdown has started. And you start to see these phrases sprinkled throughout the messages like, time is limited.
Oh, wow.
Run, not sit and wait.
And there's even one point where it says that we need to evolve in 1 year.
Wow.
What usually takes 1,000.
Okay, so the extraterrestrial beings are like in a hurry all of a sudden.
Yeah, it seems that way, right?
What's the big rush?
Well, this fascicle introduces a really interesting concept.
Okay.
It talks about something called the 2-year test.
2-year test, okay.
And it's specifically for those who've already made contact, but maybe aren't taking things as seriously as they should be.
Got it.
It's almost like, you know, a final exam, a chance to prove...
To prove you're getting it.
That you're getting it, yeah.
Okay.
That you understand what's at stake.
A 2-year test for my soul, like, yikes.
Right.
That is some serious pressure.
Yeah, a lot of pressure.
It makes you wonder, like, what could be so important that it requires this kind of accelerated evolution?
What's the big deal?
Yeah.
Why the rush?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, that's the mystery that unfolds as we go deeper. But here's where it gets even more intriguing.
Okay.
Fascicle 3 starts to delve into hidden meanings within some familiar religious phrases.
Okay, like what?
Like, for example,
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim
from Islam.
So like hidden messages within the messages.
Exactly. The knowledge book is saying that within that phrase, if you really break it down, there's this message about finding your true self, about loving all things, and about using logic as your guide.
Wait, are you saying that there's like a deeper meaning to these everyday phrases that we just kind of toss around?
It's suggesting that,
Okay, that's kind of blowing my mind a little.
It is pretty mind-blowing, isn't it?
Yeah.
And it's not just Islamic phrases. It also decodes the word stavros, which is from the Christian tradition, referring to the crucifix.
Okay, I am hooked.
Yeah.
Tell me more about stavros. What is the hidden message there?
So with stavros, it breaks down the letters and the symbolism, and it connects it to the Almighty, to the concept of time, and to human evolution. Through love, through research, and through reaching a higher consciousness. And the book even goes so far as to say that this understanding surpasses the Islamic focus on just praying. Because it's not about just supplicating for things. It's about actively trying to understand your purpose in existence.
So it's like we're being asked to look at these phrases that we think we know with fresh eyes.
Yeah, exactly.
Like there's this whole other level of meaning that's just kind of waiting to be discovered.
Like there's more than meets the eye.
Yeah.
And this whole idea of hidden meanings, it actually ties into something even bigger. That Fascicle 3 reveals. It unveils this whole hierarchy of cosmic management, if you will. And it calls it the Lords of Mechanism.
Lords of Mechanism.
Okay.
Yeah, that sounds intense.
It is pretty intense.
Like, what are we talking about here?
So imagine a pyramid. At the very top, you have the Almighty. And then below that, you have these lords.
These lords,
And each lord is responsible for a different level of the universe, you know, the world, heaven, galaxies.
Wow, so it's like a cosmic org chart?
Kind of, yeah.
And where do we fit into all of this?
That's a great question, and one we'll definitely explore further. But to add another layer of intrigue here, the book claims that this structure, this pyramid structure, actually mirrors the secret of the pyramids themselves.
Hold on, are you saying that the pyramids on Earth are like blueprints?
It's suggesting that, yeah.
For the entire universe? Okay, this is getting wilder by the minute.
Yeah, we're just getting started. Remember that urgency we talked about?
Yeah.
Well, things get even more interesting when we look at how this fascicle positions itself in relation to other religious texts,
Okay.
particularly the Quran.
Right, because I remember thinking, when I first read this, like, this could be confusing for people.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because the knowledge book claims that it's the book
Right.
for this era, but then Islam says that the Quran is the final word.
Right, the final revelation.
So how do these two things even work together?
So it actually addresses that head on in this fascicle.
Okay.
It acknowledges the Quran,
Okay.
but it says that it only projected events up to 1999 and that a new era starts after that.
Okay.
And essentially, this is the guidebook.
For this new era.
For that new era.
So what is this new era all about?
Well, that's a big question, isn't it?
Yeah.
The Quran talks about a resurrection.
Right.
But here, the interpretation seems pretty different.
Yeah.
It's not talking about a physical resurrection, but a global awakening of consciousness. And it claims that this awakening will actually lead to open contact with extraterrestrial beings.
Wait, so instead of coming back from the dead, we're talking about like a mass enlightenment.
It seems that way.
That opens the door for communication with aliens.
That's what it's suggesting.
Okay, that is a serious plot twist.
It is a big twist.
It's like we're on the edge of this huge paradigm shift.
Yeah, exactly.
And this book is trying to give us the tools to navigate it.
That's right.
But are we even ready for that kind of change?
Well, that's a question each of us has to answer for ourselves.
Yeah.
Are we willing to do the work to challenge our assumptions and open ourselves up to the unknown?
Well, luckily, Fascicle 3 doesn't just leave us hanging with these big questions.
Right.
It actually gives us some pretty specific advice for achieving this higher level of being.
Yeah.
It lays out what it calls the 3 codes of evolution.
There's 3 codes, right?
3 codes, okay. Each code represents a stage in that process of reaching a higher level.
Got it. The first one is the essence code.
Essence code, okay.
And it's all about finding that inner peace, becoming aware of your true nature, and letting that shine through.
So less pretending to be someone you're not and more embracing who you really are, flaws and all.
That's it.
Okay.
It's about stripping away the masks and the pretenses and connecting with that authentic core within yourself.
Okay.
And the book suggests that when you do that, you naturally start to radiate a different kind of energy, a more genuine and powerful energy.
So you're saying like true strength comes from being vulnerable, from embracing your imperfections.
And that's a big part of it, yeah.
That's a powerful message.
It is.
But it's definitely easier said than done.
Oh, absolutely. It's a lifelong process for sure. But even small steps in that direction can make a big difference. The key is to become aware of those moments when you're trying to be someone you're not, and to gently nudge yourself back.
Back to that authenticity.
It's authenticity.
Yeah, okay. So we've built our foundation with the essence code.
Right.
Now what?
What's next?
What role does the word code play in all of this?
So the word code is all about recognizing the power of language.
Okay.
The knowledge book says that our words have a creative force. They can build up or tear down, spread love or sow discord. So the word code is about aligning our speech with that higher purpose of evolution, using our words to uplift, inspire, and create positive change.
So it's like a verbal detox.
That's a good way to put it, yeah.
Cutting out the negativity, the gossip, the complaints.
Yeah.
And really focusing on speaking from a place of kindness and understanding.
That's it.
Okay.
It's about becoming conscious of how you use language and making a deliberate choice to speak in a way that reflects your highest self and that contributes to the well-being of yourself and others.
That sounds like a real challenge in today's world.
It is a challenge, no doubt.
Where negativity and judgment just seem to spread like wildfire.
Absolutely.
But I can see how powerful it would be to consciously shift your language in that direction.
It's a practice, like anything else. But the more you do it, the more natural it becomes. And the ripple effects can be profound.
Right.
Imagine a world where everyone was striving to use their words in this way.
That's a beautiful thought.
It is a beautiful thought.
Okay, so we've got essence and word. Bring on the I code.
All right, the I code.
What does it mean to cultivate compassionate observation?
So this one is all about shifting your perspective.
Okay.
The knowledge book encourages us to look at the world through a lens of compassion, to see the suffering and the beauty all around us.
Without getting swept away by judgment.
So being present,
Yeah.
witnessing what is, without labeling it good or bad.
You got it.
Like that mindfulness idea we were talking about.
It's very similar, yeah.
Okay.
It's about stepping back from your own limited viewpoint and allowing yourself to see the bigger picture.
Okay.
The knowledge book even suggests that tears actually play a role in this process.
Okay.
That they can cleanse negativity.
So crying is good.
It can be, yeah.
That's good news for me.
It can help to open our hearts to deeper compassion.
But seriously, this I-code seems like a really powerful tool.
It is a powerful tool.
For just navigating the complexities of life.
Yeah.
Like it gives you this superpower.
Yeah.
This ability to see the world with clarity and compassion. Even in the midst of chaos.
Yeah.
That's pretty amazing.
It is pretty amazing.
And that's exactly the kind of superpower we need if we're going to rise to the challenges of this new era.
You know, as we're talking about this, I'm realizing that these 3 codes, they're not just about personal evolution, are they?
That's a good point.
They're also about transforming our relationships, our communities, maybe even the world as a whole.
That's a profound insight.
Yeah.
The knowledge book isn't just offering a path to individual enlightenment.
Yeah.
It's suggesting a blueprint for a more evolved society.
Right.
A world where compassion, understanding, authentic connection are the guiding principles.
And that kind of brings us back to those big questions that this fascicle keeps raising. Like, what is the role of humanity in this grand cosmic drama?
Yeah.
Are we passive observers or are we active participants?
That's the big question, isn't it?
Yeah. And are we willing to step into our full potential, even if it means confronting uncomfortable truths and embracing radical change?
Those are the questions that Fascicle 3 leaves us wrestling with.
Yeah.
And the answers, my friend, are up to each of us to discover.
Well said, and I think that's a perfect place to pause for now.
That's good.
We've covered a lot of ground.
We have,
but clearly
there's more to come.
There's a lot more to unpack here.
Definitely.
Okay, so my head is officially spinning. 2-year tests, lords of mechanism, hidden meanings in everything.
Yeah, it's a lot to digest.
Where do we even go from here?
Well, it's interesting you mentioned the 2-year test because those deadlines, that sense of urgency, it really ties into another concept that comes up in this fascicle.
Okay.
This idea of the level of perfection.
Okay, level of perfection. That sounds pretty lofty.
It does, doesn't it?
What exactly does that mean in the context of the knowledge book?
So it's not about being perfect in the traditional sense, like never making a mistake or anything like that.
Right.
It's more about reaching a state of higher consciousness.
Okay.
You know, shedding old patterns, aligning yourself with the true purpose of existence.
So less about being flawless and more about being fully evolved.
Yeah, like reaching your full potential as a cosmic being.
Okay, got it. And the book suggests that achieving this level of perfection is not only possible, but crucial.
It seems to think it's pretty important for navigating the challenges that lie ahead.
Which brings us back to those challenges, right? We've got this looming deadline, this 2-year test.
Yep.
And we're supposed to be evolving at warp speed.
Right.
But how do we actually do that?
Yeah, that's a good question.
Like, the knowledge book throws a lot of information at us. But I'm still not clear on, like, what it actually looks like to walk this path of evolution.
Well, that's where the 3 codes of evolution come into play.
Okay.
Remember we talked about those earlier?
Right.
Essence, word, and I.
Right, the tools for the upgrade.
Yeah, exactly.
But I have to admit, I'm still a little fuzzy on, like, how those codes actually work in practice.
Yeah.
Can you break it down for me and for our listeners?
Absolutely.
Who are probably just as confused as I am.
So let's start with the foundation.
Okay.
The essence code.
Essence code.
This is about cultivating inner peace, becoming aware of your true nature, and letting that shine through.
So less pretending to be someone you're not, and more embracing who you really are.
Yeah.
Flaws and all.
Flaws and all, that's it.
Okay.
It's about stripping away the masks, the pretenses, and connecting with that authentic core within yourself.
Okay.
And the knowledge book suggests that when you do that, you naturally start radiating a different kind of energy, a more genuine and powerful energy.
It's like you're saying that true strength comes from being vulnerable, from embracing your imperfections.
That's a big part of it, yeah.
It's a powerful message.
It is a powerful message.
Definitely easier said than done.
Oh, absolutely. It's a lifelong process.
Right.
But even small steps in that direction can make a big difference. The key is to just become aware of those moments when you're trying to be someone you're not.
Right.
And to gently nudge yourself back towards that authenticity.
Okay, so we've built our foundation with the essence code.
Right.
Now what?
What's next?
What role does the word code play in all of this?
The word code is all about recognizing the power of language.
Okay.
The knowledge book says our words have a creative force. They can build up or tear down, spread love, or sow discord.
Right.
The word code is about aligning our speech with that higher purpose of evolution, of using our words to uplift, inspire, and create positive change.
So it's like a verbal detox.
You could say that, yeah.
Cutting out the negativity, the gossip, the complaints.
Yeah.
And really focusing on speaking from a place of kindness and understanding.
That's it.
Yeah.
It's about becoming conscious of how you use language and making a deliberate choice to speak in a way that reflects your highest self and that contributes to the well-being of yourself and others.
That sounds like a real challenge in today's world.
It is a challenge, no doubt.
Where negativity and judgment just seem to spread like wildfire.
It does seem to spread easily these days.
But I can see how powerful it would be to consciously shift your language in that direction.
It's a practice, for sure, like anything else.
Yeah.
But the more you do it, the more natural it becomes.
Right.
And the ripple effects can be profound. Imagine a world where everyone was striving to use their words in this way.
That's a beautiful thought.
It is a really beautiful thought.
Okay, so we've got essence, we've got word. Bring on the I code.
All right, the I code.
What does it mean to cultivate compassionate observation?
So this one's all about shifting your perspective. The knowledge book encourages us to look at the world through a lens of compassion.
Okay.
To see the suffering and the beauty all around us without getting swept away by judgment or attachment.
So it's about being present, witnessing what is without labeling it good or bad.
You got it.
Like that mindfulness idea we were talking about.
Very similar, yeah.
Okay.
It's about stepping back from your own limited viewpoint and allowing yourself to see the bigger picture.
Okay.
The knowledge book even suggests that tears can play a role in this process.
Okay.
That they can cleanse negativity.
So crying is good.
Sometimes, yeah.
Okay, good to know.
It can help to open our hearts to a deeper compassion.
But seriously, this I code, it seems like a really powerful tool.
It is powerful.
For navigating the complexities of life.
Yeah.
It's like it's giving you a superpower. The ability to see the world with clarity and compassion.
Yeah.
Even in the midst of chaos.
Even in the midst of chaos.
That's pretty amazing. It is pretty amazing.
And that's exactly the kind of superpower we need if we're going to rise to the challenges of this new era.
Yeah, it seems essential.
You know, as we're talking about this, I'm realizing that these 3 codes, they're not just about personal evolution, are they?
Yeah.
They're also about transforming our relationships, our communities, maybe even the world as a whole.
That's a profound insight.
Yeah.
The knowledge book isn't just offering a path to individual enlightenment.
Right.
It's suggesting a blueprint for a more evolved society.
Right.
A world where compassion, understanding, and authentic connection are the guiding principles.
And that kind of brings us back to those big questions that this fascicle keeps raising. Like, what is the role of humanity in this grand cosmic drama?
Yeah. What is our role?
Are we passive observers or active participants?
That's the big question, isn't it?
Yeah. Are we willing to step into our full potential?
Even if it means confronting uncomfortable truth.
Yeah.
And embracing radical change.
Those are the questions that Fascicle 3 really leaves us wrestling with.
Yeah.
And the answers, my friend, are up to each of us to discover.
I don't know about you, but I feel like we've been on this wild ride through the cosmos.
Yeah, Fascicle 3 really takes us there.
It's a lot to take in, for sure. But what's so interesting is how it connects all these pieces together. You know, numerology and religious symbolism and extraterrestrial contact.
Yeah, it's all woven together.
And then it throws in these curveballs.
Yeah.
Like this whole idea that we're all universal lights.
Right.
With this potential to evolve beyond our limitations. I mean, it's kind of exhilarating, but also a little intimidating, right?
Absolutely. It's like we're being called to step into this full potential, to really recognize that spark of the divine within us.
Right.
And to actively participate in this cosmic evolution.
Yeah.
But it also requires us to really confront our limitations, our fears, our attachments to old ways of thinking.
Right. It's like we're being asked to shed our old skins and become something entirely new.
Yeah, something more aligned with this evolving consciousness.
Exactly. And it brings us back to that big question. You know, if this resurrection of consciousness is really happening, what is our part in all of this?
It's the big question, isn't it?
Yeah, are we actively evolving, or are we just stuck in these old patterns?
Are we just watching the show, or are we part of the cast?
Yeah, and I bet our listeners are feeling that pull too, you know?
I bet they are.
That urge to explore further, to dig deeper, and to really try to figure out their place in this whole unfolding story.
Well, what's so great about the Knowledge Book is it doesn't give us those easy answers.
Right.
You know, it's not a set of rules to follow. It's more like a springboard for our own inquiry, our own reflection.
Our own exploration. It's like a treasure map leading us on this quest for truth and understanding.
I love that, a treasure map.
And the real treasure is the transformation we go through along the way.
That's beautifully said.
So we've covered a lot of ground in this deep dive, but
crowd.
As always, there's always so much more to explore.
Always more to explore.
We encourage you to go back to Fascicle 3 yourselves.
Yeah, check it out.
Delve into its mysteries and come to your own conclusions.
That's the fun part.
What resonates with you?
Yeah, what stands out?
What challenges you?
What makes you curious?
Let the Knowledge Book be that spark that ignites your own inner exploration.
I love that.
And join us next time as we continue to journey onward through this mind-bending, thought-provoking text.
Yeah.
Until then, keep seeking, keep questioning,
keep seeking,
and keep evolving.